In a developing story, this 76-year-old man.
Deputies say Donald Walters has been missing since July 10th.
He talked to me about stuff. He told me he was a spy. He was an officer at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. He worked with electro-optical, night vision, high-energy laser systems. So now I'm looking back at these rumors thinking maybe they are true. I knew we had to go back to Kansas and figure out what happened. We're here at Donald Walters' house. I decided to talk to some of the neighbors and see if they remembered him at all. Donald Walters used to live next door?
Yeah.
He went missing.
They found him.
Oh.
Not alive.
Well, you said they found him. Because we still have him as missing.
I just wanted to let you know, we are telling this story exactly the same way that it unfolded to us. As we went through the town, we're speaking to certain people, the fire department, if you will. That's the exact same timeline. And he had told us that he had been found.
They found him.
Oh.
Not alive. He was on a hunting expedition, and the wild boar guy. I guess it was at my real water district meeting where it came up because he one of the homes that he bought was in our district, and we were.
Right.
The bills were getting behind. It finally came up that he was located.
I thought it might be a rumor. Right when I heard it, it sounded too far-fetched. After we left there, we went right to the detective, and they confirmed that he still was missing. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I have a microphone on, just want to let you know.
Okay.
I was in town. I was just talking to. He said that he had heard through his board meeting over there because the bills were getting backed up that they had found him in Oklahoma. That they found his body.
Really?
Yep, that was, they presumed dead from a hunting accident, pig attack. Might have got the best of him, and they found his body.
When was that?
Like literally within a month.
We haven't been notified and we haven't even listed.
Maybe, would you want to call him and see if they found him?
I call my dispatch and see if he's still in NCIC. Hey, I am sitting here with the gentleman. Can you do me a favor? Can you look and see if Donald Walters is still listed in NCIC as missing?
Yes, he is still a missing person.
Okay. All right, thanks, Sam.
Looking back, I think he had been told that because the house had been sold at this time, and logic in that group of people that he was talking to may have concluded that there's no way you're going to sell the house unless they've confirmed him dead. That's my assumption, and that's why I think they came up with the rumor that he was found. Then the pig hunting and the body and all these other things kind of, I've heard floating around multiple rumors, and then it comes together, and that's the story that you hear. The crazy part is the conversations that we had with that detective took us on a whole nother journey.
What happened was that he had left, had told some people, some crazy things. And a friend of his got worried about it because they hadn't seen him for a couple days. Mm-hmm. Ended up making a report for a missing person. And the vehicle he was in.
Was it in his truck?
It was a car.
Oh, it was a car.
It was a...
Porsche Taycan?
It wasn't the Porsche.
Oh, okay.
It was a Audi.
Oh, okay.
They found the vehicle down in Oklahoma. They did find 2 passports.
Oh, okay.
An expired one and a current one that were on the ground by the bridge.
Okay.
They believe that he crossed the bridge, but then they lost his trail. The area that his vehicle was located in was definitely not a place where general travel would be. My understanding was it was a road that hadn't been maintained in about 50 years. It had been overtaken by the river. It went down a pretty extensive embankment from what I understand, and they had to get a dozer out to make it so they could even get the car out of where it was at.
Interesting.
They said that they couldn't even get around down there in 4-wheelers.
Wow. Did they have any signs of struggle or anything weird?
There's no signs of struggle.
Okay.
He wasn't on a hunting trip.
Oh, okay. They didn't find his phone? No signal pings or anything?
No, there was no signal ping. He was a conspiracist, so he wrapped his phone, up in aluminum foil. So
a Faraday cage. One thing that really bothered me, and you hear me ask him, was about the cell phone, these cell phone pings. I had heard crazy rumors that he always have it wrapped in tinfoil. Is he just paranoid because he doesn't want anybody knowing what he's doing and he just doesn't like that feeling because he knows it's real because he worked for the government? Is it his mental state? If you're so paranoid and you're out in the woods there to still not unwrap your phone and use it, I can only imagine what was going on in that moment in Donald's mind.
He went missing. I will say, when he went missing, I contacted the letter people.
Okay, yeah.
FBI, CIA,
Yeah.
I had connections, so or Secret Service, I should say.
Just put his name in the
just so they knew, and if he was really what they said, what he said.
What he said, yeah.
Have you been down to Oklahoma?
Oh, no, I have not yet. No, I haven't even called him.
It's kind of confusing. Where the vehicle was found in the county that processed, you're on a county line, and it was kind of jacked up the way it was explained to me. It was found in this county. He walked into this county. They didn't really communicate very well with each other.
Okay. I'm starting to understand why he had unclear stories. One, he's very detached from that area. It's 400 miles away. Two, there are like 3 to 4 different departments, and there's not one strong central command of this particular missing persons case. You have a reservation, you have McIntosh County, you have Okmulgee County, you have the city, and when you have other fire departments and rescue teams performing mutual aid, and they're not answering to the same commander, unfortunately, you're going to get these things. You're going to get these weird rumors, but when you talk about paramilitary organization, there is a rhyme and reason for that. You have those things because you know if you hear it from one person and he heard it from one person and he heard it from one person, you can track down a rumor and find out if it's false or not, and you can find that out. Even this detective in this time and age, he still was hearing things that were true and false as we go on down the road.
But he had been in a town called Henrietta. He made some impressions there.
Just on his way to this?
Yes. Because the story he told was he had family buried here. If he did or not, I don't know. But he was going to go to the cemetery. I developed an image in my head when I'm being told these stories. Their feeling was basically, and they'll probably be a lot more forward than what I'm going to be here. They had.
What did they say? So you said they didn't think he was hunting, though?
No, there was no hunting involved. Not of animals.
Okay.
He made some accusations that they will probably tell you why he was going down to Oklahoma. You have to understand, this is before the election. Yeah, he was going to go down there and take care of some people.
Because he was on the left side or the right side?
I don't know.
So we find out that he wasn't down there hunting animals, and that before he left, he was making some accusations to some people. You're telling me Donald went down there to hunt people? This whole time I thought maybe Alzheimer's, dementia, maybe family down there or something's happening and he's just on some loop down there and doesn't know why he's down there. But he said that one of his friends that he was close to, she unfortunately had just passed away. But there was another friend he mentioned. He never said his name, but he did say it was a gentleman friend of his that may know why he went down there. I knew that was the one burning in my mind. We need to figure out who that was and figure out what he knew about Donald Walters. At this point, we needed to leave and go on our week of race week. Shortly after getting back from race week, we picked right back up where we left off. We went to the VFW because I'd heard stories of him getting in arguments with people at the VFW. We waited around till it opened and nobody in there knew who he was. When I came out after the VFW, I actually finally got a phone call from the realtor who just sold his house. Hi, Wayne. I was really hoping to meet you in person because it's kind of weird to talk about it over the phone. But I had a random meeting with Donald Walters last year here in Race Week. Do you know the Race Week stuff that we do in town here?
Yeah, that's the drag strip.
Yeah, I don't know if you or the family, I'm assuming you worked with the family member or the son.
Yeah, I sold the house to Don. He went missing shortly after he bought this house. 2 or 3 months afterwards. They found his car down in Oklahoma.
Yep.
Doors wide open out in the woods and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He never went anywhere without his dogs. They didn't find the dogs. They didn't find nothing and still haven't. So what had happened is the state took over his estate, or the family did. You know, you can't declare him dead because you ain't found no body.
Right, right.
And so the state put them in charge of his estate, and so the first thing they got was court order to sell his real estate.
Okay.
And so that's how I got involved.
Talking with the realtor, he explained to us that the house was turned over to a trust company, and that trust company rehired him to sell the homes. I'm assuming that, you know, a lot of the money probably doesn't go to the family. It probably just stays somewhere in escrow until the day, if and when it comes, if Donald is found or not found, or he's declared dead, you know, 5-10 years later, whatever the laws are in that state. And that's when all the assets are released from those trust companies.
You know, the other thing I found out, well, he bought this condo, and he just let his dogs loose out. Well, you can't do that when there's a homeowners association.
Mm-hmm.
And so he got in trouble for that. Well, he loved music, so he had this very loud stereo system in his condo, just vibrating the walls for the next condo.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he got reprimanded for that, and he's playing his guitars, and so that's when he got mad and bought this other house.
One thing that the realtor had mentioned to me, though, that kind of made sense later on was why he bought the bigger house. And apparently it just came down to the fact that the living quarters in the condo were very close, and he liked to be a little bit louder. He also mentioned that he was taking guitar lessons.
2 doors down to the north of that house, I had another customer, and I put that house on the market, and I found those were 2 musicians from out at the community college.
Mm-hmm.
And the husband of that couple was giving Don guitar lessons.
I just find that very interesting and fascinating that even in his late stage of life, he was still like yearning to learn something and just be creative and do something new with his life.
You know, he was some kind of engineer,
Yeah.
electrical engineer or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was pretty high up in the ranks in the government.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard that.
So,
I've heard maybe a 2-star general. I've heard that, you know, a couple times that he was up there.
makes me wonder if he just knew too much and they found out he was going off his rocker.
Yeah.
And he just disappeared. You know?
Yeah. Well, it was funny when I talked to the detective here in town. He had heard through a rumor that he, you know, went down there for some political reasons. It was like prior to the Trump election, and that he went down there all wound up over some political reasons. I don't know the details of that.
Well,
he didn't want to go into it.
That's not out of his realm to do that. You know,
Right.
he was very vocal and very opinionated, and he really didn't care whether you liked it or not.
Yeah, yeah.
But one thing about it, you knew where you stood with him.
Yeah, you knew right away. You knew right away, that's for sure.
At least at the moment you did. You know?
Yeah.
It might change.
Yeah.
Don was the talk of the town to every realtor in Great Bend, because he's used several of them, you know, because he was in a different world every day. And
Yeah.
you just never know. And you paid cash for everything.
I was going to ask that, yeah.
You had to pay attention when he come in the building.
When Donald entered the room, he got your attention. And that was proof positive that what we saw that day at the racetrack was a 100% who he was. We also heard from other racers that night he actually had dinner with some of them and talked their ear off and demanded the attention, and he got it. It wasn't surprising, though, just hearing when we went around town and started talking to people and talking to the realtor, you know, he confirmed that everybody kind of knew Donald at the time, and he wasn't there for very long. I actually got into a drag race with him, and he had a Porsche Taycan. It's an electric Porsche.
He told me about this car,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, it's coming, it's going to be here in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then after, he'd seen me a few times after that, and he wanted to take it out there and race one of his buddies, and he wanted to race Max Nichols in his airplane out at the drag strip. I mean, you know, if you met Don, he was just
very interesting.
But he loved to go fast.
He also said he took it to some engineer, like some race shop, and they turned it up. Did he ever tell you that?
Yeah.
Do you know? Do you remember a name or what he was talking about?
No, but see, that's just how his brain worked. He was so intelligent it was difficult for him to talk to normal people.
That's exactly what I've come across. Yeah.
He told me that he went in and had somebody work on it.
When he told me that he had it modified to 1,200 horsepower, I was thinking this is complete and total lie. But then the realtor told me that he had told him that he sent it to a place as well to get it modified to be faster, to get 1,200 horsepower. I know that unless it's some secret hack that these electric car companies have, there's no way to modify them. I thought maybe he was just telling a tall tale. Maybe he was. It's really got me thinking, maybe there's a shop around there that hustled Donald Walters, and maybe we need to go find out who that is.
He had a buddy named Max Nichols, which is a wealthy man here in town, and he has his own airplane, flies everywhere.
Okay.
They're buddies. They're from the same class, same graduating class.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And his other buddy, Bill Coling has like an '84 El Camino that has a Corvette engine in it.
Okay.
And so he took Bill out there and raced Bill out on the airstrip, not even on the drag strip. He went out on the airstrip and raced him. Got in trouble with the airport out there.
We also found out that he had a friend in town, and his name was Bill, and that Bill had an LS swapped El Camino. I thought that was super interesting that, of course, Donald has a friend with an El Camino with an LS swapped engine in it in this little town. As soon as I got off the phone, I looked up Bill's number, and I found him within probably a couple minutes. And turns out he was literally like 3 miles down the road. And I bet you this is the guy that the detective said it was his friend. And as we pulled up, I saw that El Camino in his carport down his driveway. And I thought, I know exactly what kind of guy this is. And I speak his language. I'm gonna immediately get along with this guy. Hello. Hey. Old Vicious in there. Hi, are you Bill?
I'm Bill.
I'm Cheyenne. I actually wanted to come over and talk to you. I know you were friends with Donald Walters.
Right.
I had just talked to the realtor that just sold his property.
Right.
And he mentioned your name. He said you're really good friends with him. I raced Donald last year. Yes.
You're the one on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. You saw it.
Yes, I saw it, and he had his
Porsche
notoriety. But
I know.
You know, he'd been fighting that bipolar for 4 years.
I know.
And
Okay.
You guys handling fine.
Yeah.
And I tell you, you have the twin turbo Porsche.
Yes, I do. I had the white one.
That is so neat. You know,
You're a car guy. I saw your El Camino back there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's pretty rough. But, but I did put an LS one in it.
That's what Wayne told me.
Yeah. Hey, let me show the picture here.
Oh, yeah.
Max, he won't bother.
We didn't even know Bill existed until 5 minutes earlier. Now I'm in his kitchen sitting down talking with him, and it became extremely real and personal. Did you grow up with him?
Yeah, pretty well. School.
That's awesome. You know him pretty well. Wow. Holy cow. Wow. Wow.
But anyway, this is my sister-in-law. She was from Greece.
Oh.
Athens.
Oh, she just passed away this year.
She did?
Well, this year, February. The crazy part, though, that I immediately felt for Bill was he was like mourning the death of a family member. He was going to be going to like a Zoom wake or something like that night. And he was still dealing with the fact that Donald was just missing. When we walked into his kitchen, he had a lot of stuff out, and a lot of it actually was Donald's.
This is his coat I dumped out of the trash. There's a picture he took out of the trash. And of course, they threw away the photo albums.
Oh, yeah.
And
was this him here? This one? No?
That's his dad.
His dad, yeah. You see this one that he had?
Would you?
Of the Taycan. As good as we were going to get.
Yeah.
They sold it for $140,000 just recently, maybe a month or so ago.
$236.
I know. It's a top of the line car. So, what I found out from the detective, and I'm kind of confirming with Bill, is that the family kind of didn't want anything to do with it. Bill was showing me pictures and stuff that he said he got from the trash, and he was very, upset that they threw these things away. He was very descriptive of the things they threw away. It was just so hard for me to understand that a family, no matter what, if he was in your life in any capacity or not, that the family just has no interest at all in finding out what happened or having any closure at all. It made me think, like, are they scared of the government? You know, like, did the government really get rid of Donald Walters? Because they saw him on a viral video, they got rid of him, and now the family is scared that that really did happen because they know all these top secret things that Donald was up to during his career. And they're scared of their life and their livelihood because the government might come after them. Or is it where somebody is in a highly classified position their entire life with the government and their mental health is deteriorating over time, and he doesn't have the mental fortitude to keep secrets anymore, if you will. And maybe they saw that on video. Maybe they already knew that was happening and forced him to retire. I don't know. But when a person like that, you know, doesn't have the mental fortitude to keep secrets anymore, he might start talking to direct family and friends. And I'm not absolutely saying that's what it is. I just think personally there may be a combination of, let's not ruffle the feathers of the government, and we weren't that happy with Dad late in his life, maybe during his life, and we just feel like we want this thing to be over and just let it go. I find it hard to believe that it's that absolute, and every time I talk to Bill, I'm feeling like he needs closure, and there's probably other people out there, and maybe the family, if they're saying it or not, I'm sure they deep down want to know exactly what happened. And maybe they were afraid that somebody like me would make a mockery of his life or him because of the video that was out. It was the crazy old man, you know, racing on the, you know, video. And I was having fun and joking and laughing. And maybe they didn't realize that I was going to take this very serious and try to figure this thing out. The rumors too, that everybody just goes to, is that he was talking too much, and maybe the big government got rid of him. I think that's a far-fetched tale.
I think, and of course I said, you know, we'll all be laughing one of these days that the flying saucer comes and sets him down.
Don will be right there.
Where's everybody?
They'll be like, hey, we brought him back. We can't handle Don. He's definitely yours. You could tell, though, that Bill and Donald had a good relationship, and you could tell that Bill understood Donald and could laugh at the things that Donald would do. And I can relate. Like, as I'm getting to know Donald better through this journey, it's very serious. Don't get me wrong. But he was actually kind of a funny person and didn't seem like he minded if you took pokes at him. And you know, he knew that too in a lot of ways. It seemed like that, especially with Bill. What I really would love to hear from you, if you knew, if you were talking to him before that, is why he even left town, like why he went up there or down there to Oklahoma.
He was an adamant anti-Trump.
Anti-Trump. I didn't know which way it was. Yes. If it was foul play, if it, you know, wonder what the detective had found. That, you know, he couldn't tell me everything, but it's just interesting to see if, you know, if there's some sort of rift that he had with somebody here that carried on down there, or if he, like for him to go down there and try to tie things up, and it was like a whole thing he went to do. And I thought maybe he went down there and got into it with some people down there about some political conversations.
Yeah, he could have shot his mouth off. And actually I was talking with the city attorney, and he says, well, it was abandoned down there, but by whom we really don't know, because everybody had been in and out of that car.
So I asked Bill a couple times, what was the reason Donald went down there? He immediately said he's anti-Trump. And that lines up with the detective saying that he's going down there to handle some people. So I'm thinking maybe it's a political thing because the election's happening right then and he's really wound up. And Donald is a very driven person, so he's very into something. I'm very skeptical of that scenario. I still had a real hard time swallowing that scenario, that he wasn't going down there to hunt. He's going down there to take care of some people. And from all the things that I'm hearing about him, I'm not hearing like an overly aggressive person that wants to, you know, go down and really cause damage to somebody. I see him getting in altercations, you know, maybe in a bar or a restaurant or something happening. But that just didn't really make sense to me, that he would be so wound up that he would go down there.
He got was down there at the Angus, that Perkins restaurant. And they
Okay,
were
yeah, yeah.
breakfast,
Yeah.
and somebody he actually knew, they got into it about politics,
Oh, jeez.
and they got up and they called the police. The police officer come in there. By the time Don threw a punch at this poor old guy.
Jeez.
And anyway, he had a diplomatic passport. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
And he says, "You can't touch me. I've got a diplomatic passport." Well, they
Interesting.
really can.
Right.
But he snowed that poor
Right,
officer.
right. Oh, wow. So he got out of it with that excuse.
Yeah.
He seemed to always kind of have a little, those, it was sometimes like some of the stories are, it's like, sounds like it's based in truth, but then if he needed to stretch it a little bit to get out of whatever he was up to, he could get you to believe him and get out of whatever he was doing. When he got into it with the guy at the restaurant, how did that tie into him going down to Oklahoma?
All right. I think, and I actually called in one of those welfare checks on him when he's down at Wichita, raising hell.
But now I hear he wasn't taking his medication.
He tried to get in McConnell Air Force Base, but he's going through that paranoid deal. Got rid of all of his identification, credit cards. There's no insurance card in his Audi. There was nothing. He tried to get in the gate. Well, heck no, they're not going to let him go through the gate.
Yeah.
He told them he was a 5-star general at the
Oh,
time.
jeez. Yeah.
But anyway, so because I'd called in the welfare check, the sheriff's deputy, they had it, had called me, and they said they had their psychiatrist out there. The guy is off his lithium. I said, it's sitting right there in the console of that Audi. Can't you make him take it? No, we can't make him take it.
Oh, jeez.
Well, can't you hold him? Because he has no identification, no driver's license, no insurance cards. We didn't see him drive in. My next call I got that evening was 10:30. Haven Police Department. He said, we're going to take him to the emergency room and have him evaluated.
And as soon as he told us that, he goes into, I have this voicemail. And that voicemail was very telling of his mental state at that moment in time.
Don, please give me a call. I'm at this number, which is I'm not sure what number I call back. But if you call back, I'm at the Larned State Hospital. I need you to come and pick me up, or call Fort Riley Base Commander and have a helicopter M60 sent to Larned State Hospital. That's Fort Riley Base Commander, and ask for a helicopter. M60 to come and take me. The best thing is you coming here to pick me up and bring me back to the West Western at the lowest cost. Also call the base commander at McConnell Air Force Base. Let him know I'm here under duress in incarceration, and I want to get out of here yesterday. I'm supposed to have to wait till Monday. I got things to do. I got the dog and SFRN supposedly Washington. I'm sorry, Hutchison. I need some milk. I don't want to sit rotting away here when I could be having a service. They don't even give me coffee here. Okay, Bill, when you get this, please call back on this. Just call, come and get me, but better yet, call Base Commander, McConnell Air Force Base. They know everything about what I'm doing, as does Base Commander Fort Riley. They're both 24/7 sales down a lot. Yeah, here I am. Thanks a lot. I'm gonna hang it up now.
So when I heard the voicemail, my first thought was he's just snowing the orderly that's standing there, allowing him to make that phone call. He's, big talking. Hey, send a helicopter. They know who I am. I got things to do. And it's an earshot of somebody that is obviously restraining him or keeping him there. And he's just trying to snow them and get them to believe that he is who he says he is. And you better let me go type of voicemail. That's what I originally was hearing. Now, he could be completely gone at that point mentally and really be believing all that stuff. I just have a hard time with it because he's telling that to Bill, his friend, and Bill knows him, and he knows Bill knows him too. And it just seems like a conversation that I would have with a friend where if I was locked up in jail, I'd be like, yeah, send me a limo, send me this and that, and tell Donald Trump what's going on in here. And you, as my friend, would be like, okay, you know, I know what you're doing. You're trying to like get out of that situation. And we know Donald would get out of situations, and he would exaggerate his position in the government. 5-star general, that doesn't exist. It maybe it's a 2-star general. We've maybe discovered those things, but you know, he's not a 5-star general. Those only existed in World War II and some other times of action when you need that high of a general while you're in war. So I highly doubt that ever happened. And to say that to a friend of yours and trying to convince your friend to go really call a helicopter, you got to be really far out there mentally to really think that your friend is going to do that. Or you're snowing the nurse or the orderly standing next to you. That's kind of where I keep going back to. Maybe he was on his medication enough again at that moment, and it was really a call to get someone to come pick him up, and that's what he wanted to say. I've got a CNLS swapped El Camino. Let's go.
See, they fit well.
Fits perfect. So did you do this or have a shop do it for you?
Well, I said, you set it in. I can't do any lifting anymore.
Yeah.
I haven't put an engine in anything that you don't have to hump or
right.
somebody have to do something.
Right. Looks good. We're actually driving to Oklahoma right now.
Oh, my God.
I know. It's fine, though. You're the best lead in the conversations we've had. Thank you. Thank you so much, Bill.
Yeah, thank you.
God bless you, and thanks for letting us in. And so it was nice speaking with Bill. He was now a critical piece in this entire investigation. And he did mention, though, that he was anti-Trump and that he got into an argument with some people at Perkins. So it was later in the afternoon. We were hungry. We decided, let's go there and see if anybody remembers this altercation that they had with Donald Walters. This is the restaurant here. He said the Black Angus. Now, I think he meant here because this is the hotel that he was charging at. This is the most popular place here. Probably have breakfast here every day. So at Perkins, we asked the waitress if she remembers Donald. She had only worked there for like 6 months, so she obviously had never met him. We described him and said, could you ask anybody in the back or the other workers if they remember him? And lo and behold, a woman comes up and knew exactly who Donald was, and this is who he got in an argument with. Right, chill out.
Did you swing on one of the cows? Like, you can't do that. And he started going off on me.
Oh, geez.
And one of my other regulars was there, and I was like, you know, they're not going to press charges. They don't want to call the police, but I am going to tell you, like, you can't do that. We'll have to ask you to leave. And then he starts going off on me. Mm-hmm. We ended up making him leave. Mm-hmm. And then he went over to the hotel later that day. Mm-hmm. Caused a big scene over there. Then he called the cops on the hotel owner because the hotel owner wouldn't fire me and Lacey, the GM over there.
So we found out that she did remember Donald and remembered this altercation, that he probably did get in an argument with some people there, was getting loud, and she kicked him out. And by kicking him out, that really tipped him the wrong way. And then he went in on her and attacked her and said a lot of things to her. So we know that this altercation did actually happen. It probably was political, and it spilled over into arguing with this worker at Perkins. Unfortunately, that's really all we know. After that, he did go to Oklahoma. Within days, hours, a week, we don't really know, but we know that that was a situation, and it really made a lot of sense now where the detective and Bill and these rumors had come up that maybe he went down there to deal with somebody, that he wasn't hunting, that he went down there to take care of some people. Maybe it had something to do with this argument. So directly from Perkins, we drive right down to Oklahoma. We didn't have much time. And we knew we wanted to stop at this one gas station. We had heard that maybe that was the last credit card transaction that took place on Donald's credit card. Let's say you say, fuck Trump in this gas station. What do you think is going to happen? What were you doing down here, doll? Like, why were you down here? Hey guys, I noticed that most of the views that I get on this channel are from non-subscribers. If you guys could just subscribe and hit the notification button, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.